The North Arnhem Land community of Maningrida is in mourning for two young people who took their lives over the Christmas holidays. Amid the grief, there is also anger that extra counselling support wasn't offered to the people left behind. Stephanie Zillman reports.
As school went back this week, Maningrida students farewelled a popular classmate.
We commemorated the life of a high school student who was supposed to graduate this year, but unfortunately it will not happen.
The 16-year-old girl was a talented sportswoman. Just a few days after her suicide, her 17-year-old uncle travelled to nearby Elcho Island, where he also took his own life. They were the first youth suicides in Maningrida for 5 years, and community leaders say they worked around the clock, fearing a spate of copycat deaths.
Would have been great if we had some counsellors offered to community, to the family, to the young people that I had to sit at the beach with for hours while they cried.
Two members of the federally funded National Indigenous Critical Response Project spent a number of days in Maningrida, but the community was critical of the NT government.
We didn't get any support from the NT government, unfortunately, but I thought that we would have more of a response on the ground, come in to community, phone call asking what do we need, what support do we need. But we ended up bringing in the national body.
The Northern Territory Health Department said it did provide help but refused to give further details, saying the cases were before the coroner.
We are unable to provide any specific information beyond confirming that assistance was provided.
There's also anger at the ongoing lack of prevention programs.
They wake up when they see people die, especially young kids. They wake up later. They see the picture. That's later, not later. I want it before later.
The mood in the community is quiet as families continue to mourn. The $10 million funding boost announced by Federal Indigenous Affairs Minister Nigel Scullion just a week after the Jewel tragedy here in Maningrida hasn't been seen by those working on the ground. In response to the ABC, the Minister said the rollout of the additional community support was underway.
The people who are left behind, we want to ensure that they're not in a position where they're considering self-harm. So this isn't about fixing suicide. This is about fixing one of the issues around that.
An issue that has heartbroken a community. Stephanie Zillman, ABC News, Maningrida.
If you or anyone you know needs support, contact Lifeline on 131 114 or Beyond Blue on 1300 22 4636.